Israel Adesanya reclaimed his middleweight championship with a highlight reel finish over Alex Pereira. I asked fighters their thoughts on the fight in the latest edition of MMA Pros React.
You know, it was a crazy reaction. I don't record it, but it was crazy. Because first of all, I don't believe what's happened. Because I think before fight, I think that Pereira is someone who Israel never gonna beat. You know, sometimes you got some opponents like that you can just you don't like his style, the size, everything, and you always gonna lose against him. And I think that Pereira is someone for easy, like this kind of opponent. But he showed that you can do everything if you believe something, train hard, believe in yourself. You can do everything in the world. So congratulations, it was perfect. Perfect win.
Really good. I like his defense now. I knew when I watched the replay in slow motion, Pereira was with his hands really low, so you can't have a very good attack and not much defense. I was like this before. I was full attack and no defense, and this is why I get caught. I can knock anybody out, but can I protect myself? So if you don't protect yourself, it's what happens. You get knocked out. So now that I'm more mature, I understand more when I watch these fights, and I see that Alex had to work more on his defense, hands a little bit more high. He took his chin a little bit low, protect with his shoulder as well, so he can avoid get knocked out and get big shots, So it's all experience, right? And I think Adesanya did really well, and he deserves to be the champion.
It was awesome. It's my first time at the UFC event, and man, that was awesome. And then the way he caught Pereira, yeah, that was masterclass, And also what he said, he was setting a trap. So yeah, it's risky, but it works for him. So it was masterclass.
It was a little sketchy at first. You couldn't tell if it was getting hurt or it was like his ass starting to add up. And he kind of just drew him in. He rolled with the shots and just let loose a big bomb on it. It was awesome, and he followed it up. And then Izzy, man, with the arrows, just shoot. It was just it was entertaining, man. I'm proud of him. I'm excited for him. I feel like we can learn a lot from Izzy, his style, the way he brings to the table. Yeah, man, it was pretty cool, man.
Wild comeback, not just in the fight, but in terms of comeback of not like a comeback in his career. The guy's been on top for so long, but a comeback against an arch nemesis, a guy that was up 3-0 on him, right? That's huge. Can't even imagine the feeling that he had there.
Man, let's go, Izzy. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for my boy. I don't know him, but I'm happy for him because the reason why I wouldn't want to see him lose to that guy as many times as he did. And also, Pereira kind of was coming off as a bully. He was coming off as like a schoolyard bully trying to step up on Izzy like Izzy didn't have anything for him. So I'm glad Izzy kind of got that revenge, and that post-fight celebration was pretty cool too. And even though he's a guy that eventually I'm gonna dethrone and become champion, I still respect him and respect the way he moves. But soon there will be a new champion, a new face, and that's Tresean Mr. Vicious Gore. Faith moves mountains. I've kept my faith in my whole entire career, my whole life, and I'm gonna be champion, man. I'm gonna be glorifying my Lord and Savior to the mountaintops, on top soon. And I'm freaking excited, man.
I mean, it wasn't much different than anyone else's, man. Because I picked Stylebender going into that fight, but it was a very, I was it's I feel like he should win this fight, but, who knows? Pereira is such a monster. You know what I'm saying? He's such a monster. And, he was someone, I had been following him since kickboxing because of Stylebender, right? Stylebender popped off, you start looking up Stylebender, you're like, whoa, this guy beats Stylebender? You start watching the stuff, and even in kickboxing, he was terrifying, you know what I mean? And, not to mention he's gigantic, you know what I'm saying? I know their last fight, he walked in the cage at 220 something pounds, you know what I'm saying? That's just, he's one of the few people that frame wise can make Stylebender look small in the middleweight division. And for Stylebender to have all the past fights go the way they went, to be able to you know, stand in front of him, to have the wherewithal to you know, sit there while Pereira was unloading his hardest shots, throwing knees, throwing hooks, and to see the opening and take it. It was just, I mean, that was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? That's probably a fight that will live on in MMA fans' minds for a long time. That's probably one of the most prolific rivalries and finishes up to this point that I've seen in MMA personally. I mean, you know, there might be recency bias, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you give me a month and, you know, I'll settle down a little bit, but that was just, it was literally like a sequel to the first movie, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could almost make a couple movies out of this rivalry. So it was tremendous. I know they're not going to do the third fight, but I can't think of a fight in the UFC I'd rather see than a third fight between Pereira and Stylebender. You know what I'm saying? It's like watching freaking, you know, an F1 race. You know what I'm saying? You make one small mistake, you make one wrong move, the caliber of the guy you're going against is going to capitalize on that. So, yeah, no, it was awesome. The level was crazy. The finish was crazy. Afterwards was crazy. Everything about it.
Wow, crazy. It kept me in my chair. Literally, I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa, that was impressive. It's something that he did before, right? Obviously, the same punch, the same right hand, but now he did it earlier on the round and was able to capitalize, and that was incredible. That was really, really incredible to watch. It's just the sport, you know, MMA. That's why you never bet on MMA.
If we were allowed to bet, I was going to bet on Adesanya. I was like, there's no way this guy beats him 3 times. There's no way. Adesanya is, you know, I know that guy might have had his number, but that guy is so good. Like, he's going to figure it out. He's going to figure it out, and he did, you know. I was happy for him. I was really happy for him because I'm a big Adesanya fan too. You know, striker to striker, I can definitely appreciate his work in there.
Dude, that was crazy. That was actually that was amazing to watch him kind of play possum against the fence there, and then it was easier to see slow motion, but just like him being so smart enough and just being calm enough to not open up and overreact to anything that Pereira was throwing, and then just like the slightest little bit of a lead hand hook, and then bang, that right hand just dropped down and finished it. But it was amazing, man. Shout out to Izzy. Props to him for everything that he faced going into that fight, and then going in and finally putting a stamp on that rivalry.
Super impressive finish by Adesanya. I did not see it coming. I'm not even gonna lie. Pereira's a scary dude, man. Big scary dude, but Izzy's smart, calculated, and he saw that, you know, that left hook Pereira throws, he keeps his elbow a little low, so Izzy capitalized on that, came right over the top with the right. It was textbook. I was really impressed.
That was crazy, man. You know, when I seen it, Israel was up against the fence, and then Alex just started teeing off on him. I was like, oh, it's over. This is what I thought, you know what I mean? It was over, but I didn't see that shot coming out, you know what I mean? And it's crazy because that's the same shot Israel's rocked him with in the past, you know what I mean? But this time it actually put him out, and I think Alex, was a little overconfident, I feel. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's hard, you know what I mean? You beat a guy 3 times. It's kind of hard to stay, not motivated, but it's like, how do you beat a guy a 4th time? You know what I mean? You keep beating the same guy, so I got this guy's number. So he's teeing off, and I'm not really thinking, but his chin was up, and then boom, that overhand caught him. He didn't see that coming, and he was just out. But it was just a great job by Izzy, honestly. To come back like that, I think he was very determined. I think he needed this victory because we all know he's a great champion, a great fighter, but him losing, if he would have lost Saturday, that would have been a stain on his whole career.